Then what you have to do, you have to select the range, go to fill, select here series. Now I already selected this range column wise. Now if we just click on OK, now what happens is it will show as 112, 113, but I want the same values. If I give here, one sec, fill series, if you give here growth and then if you click on OK, we can see here the same value is repeated. Okay, if I want like 1 2 3 4 5 like that, from this cell you need to select the range, then go to fill, select here series. Here it should be linear. Linear means the next value will be 2, then it will be 3 4 5 like that it comes. If I click on OK, see it is filled like this. Now from this cell, if I select like this, now previously I had selected column, right? Now I have selected a row. If I want the values as here 2 3 4 5 6, again select in the same manner, go to fill option, select series. Here you need to give what? Again linear, don't make any changes. Here it is showing series in rows because I have selected row wise. If I select column wise, it will show as columns. Okay, now just click on OK. Now see, I've got the values row wise. Okay, if you want to give alphanumeric data, now I'll give here MW001. Okay, and if I want the same format like MW002, MW003 in such a way, if you want, you can click and drag down also, or you can select the range, go to fill, select here series. Now here you have to use autofill. If you give autofill, so it fills the data like this. Okay, and here I'll enter some data, let's say Excel. I'll apply some format here. If I want the same data above this cell, you can go to fill, fill up. If I want the same data towards left, go to fill and then select here what? Left. If you want towards right side of the currently selected cell, fill right. If you want the same thing below, you can use your fill down. Okay, and in that series we had other options also. Even for date also we can use the series option. Now here I'll give the date. In which format? I'm going to give a date in MMDDYY format. Okay, now let's give 1 2 2021. Okay, so it's a month first, then date, and then year. Now I'll select this range. So I have selected how many cells? In the first cell, we have a data that is in C27. I have selected the data range from C27 to C33. Then what you need to do, go to fill series. Here we have date option selected. Why this date option is selected? Because I have entered the data in the cell in date format only. Now, if I want to see only change in date, that means only day, not year or month. So now what is the current date given? Current date given is 2. Okay, in these cells, month and year should be same, only days should be changed. Okay, now if you select day and then if you click on OK, see here, same month, same year, but different dates. If you want like same day, same year, but different months, then what you need to do, fill series. Here you have to select what? Month. If you click on OK, you can see that same date, same year, but different months. Now I want same date, same month, but different year. Then go to fill, select here series. Now you need to select an option called year. Okay, and then click on OK. Now you can see here same month, same date, but different years. Now I want to see only weekdays, no weekends. Now I'll select it, fill series. I want to see only weekdays. That is, weekdays are nothing but Monday to Friday only. I want to see the dates from Monday to Friday, not Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Now just click on OK. So it is not showing because the space is not enough within the cell. Just increase it. See, it is showing 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 is missing because it is weekend. Okay. So those are the options which comes under series. For numbers you can use, for alphanumeric data you can use, and for dates. And next option we have is justify. So here I'll type here as Excel, and then Excel. And here also I'll type Excel. If I want to adjust this within this range, no, if there is a space, you can go to fill. If you select justify, it will try to adjust within that range. Okay. And next we have is flash fill. So now here I'm going to give Sachin Tendulkar. Okay. And the next cell I'll give here Rahul Dravid. Now here I'll give in this cell, what I'm going to do is I'm typing Sachin space T in caps Tendulkar. Okay. Now you can see here I have given in some format. See, Sachin is in different cell, Tendulkar is in different cell. Okay. Here I have combined it, but you can see here this T is in small letter, but here I have entered in caps. Now what I want is I want in this cell as Rahul Dravid. Means here Sachin and Tendulkar is in different cells. I have combined it in the same format. I want here as Rahul Dravid. You have to select these two cells. You need to select here fill, select here flash fill. So this is one method, and another method is another example I'll give. MS Word. In this I'll give MS Excel, MS Access, MS PowerPoint. That will be only these three. Here I'll give MS in caps, W I'll give it in caps, but other letters I'll give in lowercase. Now what I'll do, I'll select this range. There's a shortcut key to fill the series. You're going to give an example in which format you want. The same thing it will fill for the other data. Output should be given in the main cell. From there, we are using this flash fill to fill for the other cells. Shortcut key to use flash fill is Control E. Okay. Or what you can do, if you don't remember the shortcut key, select the range, fill, just click on this flash fill. Okay. So it automatically fills the values. Previously, I think in a second session or a third session, I had given an example of email ID. If you just type the name of one person and if you press enter, it was showing the name along with the email ID. And then again, you just entered the name. It was showing for all other employees. That time I had told you there is a feature called as flash fill. Because of that, it is filling for other records. Okay, the same feature is this option, that is flash fill. Okay. In this, do you have any doubts? In fill option, if you have any doubts in fill option, please let me know in a chat. Any doubts in fill? Let me know if you have any doubts in fill. So in fill option, what are the sub options we have? In fill, we have autofill, series. Then what we have is for numbers, that is row wise or column wise. If you want to fill the values, you can use it. Okay. Instead of typing more than once, no, you can use this fill options to fill the data. So last class we have completed this clear. Oh, let me just tell you what is by clear all. Clear all means within a cell or within a range, whatever you have given, it can be a format, content, or anything, it will clear everything. Clear formats, it will only clear formats. Clear contents, if you have given a format and the content, only content will be cleared, but format remains. And comment, I had told you what is the shortcut key of comment. Shortcut key of comment is shift plus F2. If you have added any comments, to clear the comments, we use this clear comments. And then hyperlinks. So if you have given any hyperlink, if you don't want that hyperlink to be there in the sheet, you can remove it by using clear format. And what is the next command we have here is sort and filter. So what is meant by sort? Sort is nothing but arranging the data either in ascending or descending order. So here I'm going to add 10 records. I'll give your name and place as fields. Anu, Shima, Jay, Sony, Tara. So there are 5 records. Tara, then so there are totally 8. So let me add 2 more. In the place, I'll type few places details of Bangalore, Mysore, Delhi, Pune. See, if I already entered a text, you need not to type it again. Now, as soon as I type B, now if I want to enter Bangalore, if you press enter, that Bangalore name will be filled in that cell. Okay. If I type M, now currently in this cell, I want to type as Mysore. If I press M, I'll not get Bangalore or Mysore because starting letters of these two words are M. So now is M, so it is not showing anything. If I type the next letter, that is Y, it will show Mysore, Delhi, Mangalore, and then I'll give here again Delhi. So when we are using table, there we had a button that is called as filter button. So what is the shortcut key to add and remove filter? Shortcut key to add and remove filter is Control Shift L, right? So if you don't remember the shortcut key, you can click on this. You can add here filter. Okay. If you don't want the filter, again, he can go to this option, deactivate it. So before going to filter, let's check what is meant by sort. So when we added a filter, here we had an option called as A to Z and Z to A, right? That is arranging data in ascending, descending, and descending to ascending. Now I don't want to add a filter button. Without adding a filter button, I want to sort the data. So how to sort the data without adding a filter? So first let me clear it. Sort and filter. I am deactivating this filter, so it is cleared. Okay. Now I want to arrange only names in ascending to descending order. Only names. I don't want place. What I'll do, I'll select the names. I'll copy. What is the shortcut key of copy? Control C. Then I'll paste it here. See, in 2 columns, I have the same data. Now, I want to only sort this range. And this range, I want to sort it in ascending to descending without adding what? Filter. So how to do that? I'm showing you now. Under editing group, click on sort and filter. Click on here A to Z. So A to Z is nothing but what? Arranging data in ascending to descending. So it is showing me a warning. What is the warning? Microsoft Excel found data next to your selection. Since you have not selected this data, it will not be sorted. If I want to sort the next column data, I would have selected. But I don't want to sort that data. I just want to sort only this particular column. If I see by default, it is showing what do you want to do? Expand the selection. If I click on expand, what happens is the next column also will be selected and that also will be sorted in ascending to descending. But I don't want it. I want to only sort this column in ascending to descending. Okay. What you need to do, you need to select this option, that is continue with the current selection and then click on sort. So here, what you want? Only you want names in ascending to descending, right? So select what? Select the names A to Z, continue with the current selection, click on sort. Now you can see here, the names are arranged in ascending to descending order. Okay. Now in B column, the names what we have, I want to arrange that in descending to ascending order. So you need to select that range, go to sort and filter, click on Z to A, then you have to select continue with the current selection and then click on sort. See, here the names are arranged according to alphabetical order, that is from A to Z, but here in Z to A format. Okay. Now I'm deleting this column. I'm going to cut this and then paste in B column. What is the shortcut key of cut? Shortcut key of cut is Control X. I hope you remember. Shortcut key of copy is Control C. For cut, it is Control X. Select the range, use cut, Control V, paste. Okay. Now I want to sort here in place based on descending to ascending and then names. So what I'll do now, I will select these 2 columns, That means the entire range I have selected. I click on here, sort and filter. I want to use both the option. So for that, I have to use custom sort. Click on there, custom sort. Here I've selected names and place also. But here it is showing sort by column B and then column A. Why it is showing column A and column B? Because it is, I have not specified these two are as headings. Okay. Now can you see here my data as headers? For these two columns, we have a headings. So you need to enable here my data as headers. Okay. Now I want to view these details based on place wise. We have here two fields, that is names and place. First, I want to sort it by place, and this I want to arrange according to alphabetical order, that is in A to Z. Then click on add level. Then I want to sort based on names. This again I want it in Z to A. Okay. Places will be arranged in ascending to descending order. Names will be arranged in descending to ascending. If I click on OK, see, place Bangalore. Okay. See, there are two persons from Bangalore. Now you forget about A column. You can see in place, right? The details of the places are arranged in ascending to descending. Now, if you see the next column, that is A column, Bangalore, Sam, Bangalore, and Anu. So first I arrange in which manner? Ascending to descending. So your places are in ascending to descending order. And names, how I gave? In descending to ascending, right? See, these two persons are from Bangalore. Okay, there are two persons, right? Sam and Anu. If I would have given here names also in ascending to descending, then Anu name would have come first and then Sam. But what I had given as Z to A for names. So it is showing first Sam and then Tara. Even here also you can see in the same format it is displaying. Okay, so now in this, okay, we have done sort, custom sort, and then filter. So now the next option we have is find. What is the shortcut key of find? Shortcut key of find is Control F. Okay, now I want to find a word MW. Okay, now if I want to check where and all it is present, okay, in this current sheet, if I click on find all, it will show in the current sheet where and all that word, that is MW, is there. A character or word you can specify here. I've typed here as MW, so it shows here. If I want to switch this particular cell, if you click on that, it goes to that particular cell. Okay. If you want to use replace, you can click on replace. Now wherever there is MW, right, I want to change that with TF, but I want here in uppercase, so I'll give here TF. Now it will search for a word MW. Okay, and wherever there is MW, it will replace with what? TF. Okay, if I click on here, replace all, it is showing all done. We made 6 replacements. If I click on OK, now it shows here. See, wherever there was MW, it is replaced with what? TF. Remember, shortcut key of find is what? Control F, and replaces Control H. Now I'll give here T and F. So it is in which case? It is in lowercase. Okay, now I'll go to options, and here I'll give match case. Match case means I have typed in find what is TF, which is in lowercase. Now it will only search for the characters TF, which is in lowercase. I'll click on find all. See, it is showing we could not find it. If I deactivate and if I click on find all, see, it is displaying wherever it is. Okay. And if I enable match entire cell contents, it is showing it is not available. Match entire cell contents means what? That cell should contain only TF, then only it will find it, or else it will not find. If I don't activate these two options and if I click on here find all, it will display. Remember, match case means the case in which you have specified the text, it will only search for that. Match entire cell contents means the cells should have whatever you have specified in finder, only that the cell should contain. If not, it will not show that. And here we have find and select, and here we have this formulas also. It is showing no cells were found. No cells were found means in this sheet I have not used any formula. Okay, now below this ones, no, I'm going to use a formula. Do you remember the shortcut key of AutoSum? Shortcut key of AutoSum is Alt equals. Okay, you can hold Alt and press equals. If you have numbers like this in the form of series, no, you need not to select it. If you press enter, it will show the total. See, in this cell I have used formula, and here also I'll use formula. Here I had data in column, so I placed here. Here also I want to know the total of these two, so I'll give here Alt equals. See, it is showing for these two cells. I'll press enter. Now I'll go to find and I'll click on here formulas. Can you see now? It is blocked these two cells because in this sheet these two cells contains formulas. Okay. Find, here we have even comments also. So comments means, do we have I added any comment here? Last class I told you what is meant by comment. So comment means it is a explanatory text attached to the cell. So I'm going to add a comment here. I'll type here ABC. Okay. So here I have given a comment. I click somewhere outside. I'll select your find and select. Then I click on here comments. See, I click somewhere here, but why this cell was selected? Because that cell contains a comment. Okay. So next we have the conditional formatting also. Okay. Now here, where should we give this? Now let me give it here. I'll select this range. I'm going to highlight the cells which contains a number 5. Okay, if it contains number 5, it should be highlighted. So highlight cell rules, text that contains, I'll give here 5, click on OK. So whichever cell contains 5, it should be highlighted. Now, if you have given any formatting or any formulas, if you want to know, like, is there any formulas or comments or conditional formatting you have given in the current sheet, you can use this find option. So you can go to find, you can select here conditional formatting. Any cells which has got conditional formatting, so that cells will be highlighted like this. Means highlight means it will be blocked. Next, here we have constants. So constants are those values whose value cannot be changed. Currently here we have so many constants. If I click on find and select, if I click on constancy, all these are constants, because whenever I'm using a function or formula, I'll not be able to make any change. But this cell, it is not selected because it contains what? A formula. Okay, see, all other cells are selected except these two, because these two cells contains what? Formula. So we have other options under find. So before starting insert tab, I'll be showing you other options, that is data validation, select objects, selection pane. For that I have to complete those commands, then I'll show you. Data validation, selection pans will not come under the home tab. So once I complete those tab options, then again I'll come back to this home, and then I'll show you other options, that is go to special, all those. Okay. Whatever we have discussed in today's class, in this, if you have any doubts, please let me know in a session box. So after that, I'll be starting functions. Okay. If you have any doubts in fill, clear, sort, and filter, you can let me know. If you don't have any doubts, then I'll start mathematical function. Please let me know in a chat. Okay. So next, we'll be moving on to our functions, that is formulas. We have a tab called as formula tab. Under that, we have different functions, that is mathematical function, text function, logical function, lookup references, financial functions, all those functions. So now, first I'll be beginning with the mathematical function. So under mathematical function, what and all we have? And before going to what is function, do you know what is meant by formula and then function? So I think you have used formulas, right? So what is formula? Some equation will be there. A formula is nothing but some type of equation where we'll be giving a values, and then we'll be performing calculations. But functions are a predefined calculations. So function is nothing but it's a predefined calculation in a spreadsheet application where it contains arguments and where we'll be giving the conditions. But in formula, no, we don't give any conditions at all. Okay. Now, first I'll be beginning with a function called as mathematical function. So when you remember mathematics, okay, what comes to your mind? Like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So all these things come to your mind, right? So in mathematical functions also, we'll be performing sum. That is nothing but addition. You will be performing multiplication, then division, but with different functions. So here we have sum if, sum ifs, product. We don't call here as multiplication. We don't have a function called as multiplication for performing multiplication. We have a function called as product. Okay. So now in mathematical function, first function name is what? Sum. So sum is a function. It is used to add the numbers in the range of cells. You can see the syntax over here for the sum. We'll give first equals whenever you're using any formula in Excel, any function. If you're giving here, we'll be starting with what? Equals. Okay. First you should give equals. Then you need to specify which function you are using. If you're using sum, you have to give sum. You have to open a bracket. Here it is showing number 1, comma number 2, comma number 3. That means you're not going to give a text inside this. You're going to use what? Only numbers. Okay. Here I want to calculate total of this range. This range means I have entered the data from A7 till D9. Okay. Now if I want to calculate the sum of these values, so it's in a form of series. So I'm giving here first equals, then you have to give sum, hold shift and press 9. It will open the parenthesis. Now here it is showing number 1, comma number 2. I'm not separating any values with commas here because I want to know the total of this range. So I'm selecting the entire range. So what is the range given? A7 to D9. How do you select it? Click, don't leave the mouse, select the entire range. Okay, if you want to type it, you can also directly type. So first see in which cell I have given the data. A7, type A7, then give colon till where you have a data, till D9. Okay, specify D, that is a column name, and then 9, close the parenthesis. So how do you close it? Hold shift and 0, press enter. So what is the total value of this is 267. Now let's check how to recheck whether it is 267 or something else. If you select any range in this status bar, it will show, right, average, count and sum. See what is the total of this? The total of this is 267. In this range, if I change this to any value, see, I'm changing to 15, it is updated. I am changing this to 10, when that is updated. So whatever you change in this range means if you change to any other value, that will be updated, because Excel is set to calculate automatically. If you don't, if you don't want to change, we need to make it manual. So how to make it manual, I'll show in the next session. But today we'll understand how these functions work. Okay. Remember, it'll only change the values if you change within this range. If I type here, that will not change because that range is not included in this. Okay, so now what I have done, it is for series. If I want to calculate total of a random cell data, then what you have to do, give equals sum, open the parenthesis. Now I want to calculate total of 24, 25 and 24, that is A8 cell, then C8 and D24. So I cannot select it because it's not in the form of a series. I want to calculate total of random cell values. So we need to specify a cell address, give comma, then select the next cell, comma, select the other cell, then close the parenthesis, press enter. Okay, so this I have selected for the entire data range, but here what I have done, it is all the random cells. And one more thing I want to tell you, if you have any data like this, see here I have data horizontally, right? If you want to calculate total for this, you need not to use equal, sum, open parenthesis, select the range at all. Just use what? Alt equals. Okay, see, it shows the total for this range. If you want vertically, alt equals. If you don't have data horizontally or vertically, means if you have in different cells, then you can go for random cells. If you have a range like this, then you can use in this format. Okay. And see, this is example 1. In example 2, again, it is very simple. I want to know the total of this. Here, it's not the random cells, any series. I have just given the data in only B column. Again, I won't be using or equal, sum and all. If I want to know the total, directly just press alt equals. Okay, when you press alt equals, what range it is showing? It is showing B13 to B16 because we have the values in this range. If you press enter, it shows 2,31,000. Okay, so what is by sum? Sum is nothing but performing addition. Okay, so I think in school and all you would have learned like this. If you want to calculate total of this, you would have given equals this cell plus this plus this plus this. See, Here we have not used any function, but here we are using some function to perform addition. Okay, if I press enter, see, it shows the result. Remember, this is not an example of a function. Functions are nothing but when you're using it, these are predefined formulas in Excel. Whenever you are using it, if you give that, it opens with parenthesis where you will be having set of arguments. Okay. Now in example 1 and example 2, we have performed what? Addition. Now, did I give any condition that I want to only I want to perform only total, like if the value is greater than that, less than this? No, right? I did not give any condition. I just wanted to calculate total. I calculated total. But if I want to perform sum based on a single condition, we use if. Okay, I think okay, one more example what I can give is, if you are not sure that you're going for a trip or not, you will be talking to your friends, right? Okay, if possible I'll come. If possible means what? There is a condition, means if possible I'll come means if it is okay I'll be coming, or else I will not be coming. So we have a condition here. If whenever we use, that means there is a condition. How many conditions? Only one condition. Either you can see here, sum if says what? It adds the cells specified by a given condition or criteria. Condition is also nothing but what? Criteria. You can see here in the range that is from A23 to B35, I have entered some data here. I want to know the sales of a specific month. Totally 12 months details I have given. I have got a condition. I want to see only this particular month data. So how to know that? Here I have given method 1 and method 2. In the method 1, I'll specify a month name. Okay, let's say I want to know the sales of May month. Okay, now I'll click here. First I'll give equals. See, if you want to perform addition, or if you want to perform sum without any condition, just use sum. If there is a condition, if it is only one condition, use sum if. Okay, equals sum if. Now what is the criteria? First you should know the criteria, then you have to select the range. In this we have 3 arguments which says range. First I need to select range, and then I have to give the criteria, and then sum range. So criteria is nothing but what? Based on month. That means range will be what? Month range. So you need to select this range, comma, criteria. I'm not going to type the criteria within this. If you want to type the criteria, I'll show you in method 2. I don't want to type it here. I'm going to select the criteria. Okay, my criteria is in which cell? F27, comma, sum range. Sum range means in which column you are going to perform sum based on this. So select this range, close the bracket, press enter. So in May month, what is the sales? It is 1,90,000. Now instead of May, I'll give here July. So in July, you can see it is 4,25,000. So I'll change this to July, and then I'll press enter. See, it is updated like this. So what is the formula I have used here? Equals sum if. First it asks for the range. Based on a criteria, you have to select the range. Okay, and then you have to give the criteria and then sum range. This is one method. Okay, second method is, I'll not be specifying which month I want in some other cell. I'll be specifying within a function only. Equals sum if range is this range, comma, criteria I'll give, I want to know the sales of October month. So I'll type here October. Remember, whenever you are giving a criteria, okay, if it is text, you have to give within double inverted quotes only. Okay, give comma, then sum range. So select here sum range, that is sales column data, close the bracket, press enter. You can also call it as parenthesis or bracket. So it is showing 7,50,000. Here, if you change the month details, it will show the result, right? But here, I didn't want it to specify any month in different cell. I want it within the same formula only at a function. So I specified here. If you want to know what is the formula you have used now, you can click inside the cell. In the cell, it shows the result. Okay, the formula which you have used in this, it shows. See, for sum if it is whatever you have given, it will show the range, criteria, sum range. Okay, and even here, if you click here, it will show the formula which you have used. If you have more than one condition, okay, I said without condition use sum. If you have a single condition, then you have to use what? Sum if. If you have more than one condition, we need to use what? Sum ifs. Okay. Now again, example 2, I have a single condition only. So I'll be using sum if. No condition, what you will be using? Only sum. If there is a single condition or a criteria, then you have to use what? Sum if. Okay. So in this, here have given a criteria as a condition. Now I want to calculate the total only if sales is greater than 2,50,000. Okay. Again, I'm repeating, there is only one condition. It is based on sales. So here, which range I have to select? I have to select sales column data only. So first give here equals sum if, range will be this column, that is sales column, comma, criteria will be what? What is the criteria I have given? In sales column, if the sales is done greater than 2,50,000, then only you have to calculate total. Okay, so criteria within double quotes. Whenever you are giving a criteria, always give within double inverted quotes. Okay, here you give greater than 2,50,000, close double quotes, comma. What is the sum range? See, here I have only one numerical column. Sum range is nothing but to perform addition, right? I cannot perform addition in name or place. I can only perform in which column? Sales. So select this, sales, close the bracket, press enter. Now see here, it is showing the result what? 3,40,000. So how many cells contains the data which is greater than 2,50,000? 1. Okay, 2,50,000. Here we have only this cell. This is 2,50,000. But here what I have specified, it should not include 2,50,000 if it is present. If you want to include this 2,50,000, then here you have to give greater than equals to, then it will also include that, or else it will not include that cell. Okay, so it is only showing the total sales is 3,40,000. Next condition is I want to calculate total only if sales is less than 2 lakhs. Okay, equals sum if. Now what you have to do, again it is based on sales only. Range will be sales column, criteria will be less than 2 lakh, comma, sum range will be again sales column, close the bracket, press enter. So here less than 2 lakh it is this cell and this. Okay, here we have 1 lakh and here we have 1 lakh 10,000. So it is showing totally how much? 2 lakh 10,000. Now I want to calculate sales in Mysore. Okay, I want to know what is the sales done in Mysore. So Mysore is a criteria. That means Mysore is in which column? It's in place column. So range will be place column. Okay, equals sum if range is what? Range will be place. See, I'm selecting range based on what criteria. First, you should see what is the criteria. Based on that, you have to select the range. Okay, comma, criteria is what? Mysore. Within double quotes, give here Mysore. You can type it in small letters also or capital letters because Excel is not case sensitive. Okay, you can give it in any case. If you want in upper case, you can give in a lower case or in sentence case. Okay, I'll give comma, sum range. It is sales. So if I close and press enter, it is showing how much? 5 lakh. Okay, so here also it is 2,50,000 and here also 2,50,000. If I change it to 3 lakh, see, it's updated. Now, if I want to know the sales done by Avik, so Avik is a condition. So Avik is in which column? Name column. So range will be name, criteria will be Avik, and then sum range will be what? Sales. So give equals sum if. When you're typing here the function, no, as soon as you get this, you can press even tab key. It directly opens the parenthesis. Okay. Range is what? Name, comma. Why I'm selecting range? Because criteria is Avik. Avik is not a place. Avik is a name of the person. So that person name is name column. So I have given what? Range. Then criteria, what I'll be giving here? Avik, close double quotes, comma. Now select here, sales, close a bracket, enter. Now, can you see here? It is showing he has done the sales that is 2,50,000. See, whenever you are entering the data now, you might make mistake also. Now, I got here Avik's sales, maybe when I'm typing this, I would have given a space. Okay, when I've entered the Avik name, I would have given a space after his name. What happens? See, I have given the formula correctly. Everything is right. It is not showing me the result. It is showing a 0. Why? Because here, after typing Avik, I have given a space. Even that matters. Okay. If I give backspace and then press enter, it shows the result. Okay. Now, I want to know, have you understood this topic? That is sum and sum if. If you have any doubts in sum or sum if, please let me know in the chat. No condition, only sum. A single condition, we use sum if. Okay, if there is more than one condition, then we'll be using sum if. If you have any doubts in sum if, please let me know in a chat. Okay. Next here, I have 3 columns data. And now I'm beginning with SUMIF's function. SUMIF is a function. It is used to perform addition based on more than one condition. That means you can have 2, 3, 4, many condition. A single condition, we use sum if. If it is more than one, we use what? Sum ifs. Okay. Now here I'll type the criteria I have given is calculate total quantity of printer supplied by Paul. Uh, this is the data from where I have to get the result. There are three columns, that is product column, supplier, and quantity. Now, my first condition is I want to know the total quantity of printer supplied by Paul. We have two conditions here. What are they? A printer, it should be supplied by which person? Paul. Okay. So here we have to use equals sum ifs. Now, first, what it is asking for? Sum range. Sum range is nothing but quantity criteria range 1. So here we have two criterias. What are they? Here it should match with printer in product column, Paul in supplier column. So I'm selecting this range first, that is a product range, comma, here, see, first I have selected sum range, and then I have selected criteria range 1, that is A49 to A54. Okay. Now, what is the condition here? Here it should match with printer. So within double quotes, give here printer, comma. Next, what is highlighted here? It is showing criteria range 2. Now select criteria range 2, comma. Now in this, what is the criteria I have to give? In supplier column, it should match with the name what? Paul. That's all. Close the bracket, press enter. So it is showing what? 150. Is this right? See, in product column it is matched with printer, in supplier column it is matched with Paul. It is showing the result what? 150. So now let's change here to scanner. Then let's check, will it display the result? See, it's not displaying because I made the change there. When I made the change, instead of printer, no, I have given scanner. But what is the condition I gave here? I have given here printer, so it is showing 0. I'll just press Ctrl Z. So why do we use Ctrl Z? To undo the actions whatever we have done. Okay. Next, same type of criteria here also. Calculate the total quantity of mouse supplied by Steve. Okay. Give here equals sum ifs. Sum range will be what? Sum range will be quantity, comma. Criteria range 1 will be product column. Here it should match with which product? That is mouse. The item name we have to give mouse. Remember, you have to give within double inverted quotes only. Next, criteria range 2. Select here supplier, comma, within double inverted quotes, give here Steve. Close double quotes, close the bracket, press enter. So it is showing mouse supplied by Steve is 500. Okay. If you have any doubts in this, please let me know in the chat. If you have not understood, I'll again repeat this. Okay, let's take a break for 10 minutes, then we'll continue our session. Okay. Welcome back, students. Now we'll be beginning with sum ifs. Okay, sorry, sum ifs we have completed, right? So I'll be starting now. Product. So before giving a break, I'd ask you if you have any doubts in sum if, and sum ifs, you can let me know. Now also, if you have any doubts in this, you can type it in a chat. Okay. Next function is product. So here product is nothing but what? Product is nothing but performing multiplication. Okay. Here you have to give a function what? Product. Okay. So once you give product, if you open a parenthesis, it shows your number 1 comma number 2. Same. You can, if you want, you can select the range like this, close a parenthesis, press enter, it shows the result. This is one method. If you don't want to select the range, if you want to know the multiplication, or if you want to know the product of a selected cells only, that is random cells, you can give in the same manner. Type here product function, select the values to which you want to perform product. Okay. This is a simple one to perform multiplication. So if you want to perform multiplication without using a function, what we use? You can also use without using a function. Okay. Equals, you can select the cell, you can give this asterisk symbol, select it, give asterisk symbol, select it, press enter. So this is by using function. This is without using function. So if you want to perform addition, how we use plus, in the same manner, here we call this symbol, it's not actually star, it is called as asterisk symbol. Okay, press enter. Here we did a simple multiplication. Now here I want to know the total price. Okay, now let's consider there is a food called as apple. For 1 kg, the price is 80 rupees. Okay. Now, if you're going to buy 5 kg apple for per kg, what is the price? It is 80 rupees, but you are going to buy 5 kgs. So how do you calculate total? So you'll perform multiplication or addition. You will perform multiplication, right? So what you need to do, you can give your equals. You can use even product function, or you can also use, you can select the cells, give asterisk symbol, select the value, press enter. See, whenever you give like this, now F16 means this cell, G16 means this particular cell. If you press enter, it's just showing 400. Why? Because 5 into 80 is 400. In a similar manner, if you come to the corner of the cell, you can see the thin plus symbol. You can click and drag down. So it fills the result for the other range. Okay, see, F61 into G61, like this. Another method to fill for the other cells is you can select it. You can use a shortcut key Control D to use fill down option. Okay. If you want, you can also use product. So when you're using product, we don't give here into. What we do is we'll give here equals product function. You can just select these two cells, press enter. Like this will perform. Okay. If you want to use in this manner, use product function, or else first give equals, then select the cells, use asterisk symbol, and then press enter. Okay. Now I'll be using your absolute reference. Okay. Absolute reference means that cell means, I'll show you in examples, then you'll understand. Now see here, I have 3 columns, that is item, price, and quantity. Now I want to know the actual price of this. Okay, that means price into quantity. I'll give here equals this cell into quantity. So it shows a actual price. It is the same formula, so I'll fill for the other cells also. So it is filled for the other cells. Now there is a discount. Okay, whatever you purchase, for that you have a 10% discount. Now I want to add that. I don't want to type the 10% within the cell. I just want to select this cell. Okay, here I'll give equals. This is an actual price, so I'm selecting actual price. I'll press into and then I'll select the cell which contains 10%. Okay, and then I'll press enter. It is showing discount for this price is 20 rupees. Okay, now if I fill down, what will happen? Let's check. I'll do left double click. See, it is showing an error. Here also it is showing an error. See, everywhere error. Why? Because I have given the cell as what? F66. So it showed the result. In the next cell, what would have happened? This cell it is showing, but it is taking the next cell value. But I don't want like this. Okay. For that, what I'll be using is absolute reference. So how to use absolute references? You can select the cell address. You can press F4 functional key to change it to absolute reference. I'll be adding your dollar symbol to change it to absolute. Now you see what will happen. If I fill down, it is showing result for all, because if I press enter, if I change it to absolute reference, it will be only referring to this cell. Previously, it was selecting some other cells, right? Why did I give in this? Because here I have not changed to absolute, because it has to take this column data and this cell data. So what I did, this I have not changed to any reference. By default, it is in relative reference. But I wanted this cell data to be multiplied with all this. So I made this cell as what? Cell content as absolute. So now whenever I fill down in these cells, it is only showing this particular cell address. For that only we use absolute reference, because I have locked it here. Which symbol do we use here to lock the cell or to refer to that particular cell? We use dollar. If you don't remember the shortcut key to change to absolute reference, what you can do is you can select this address before a column name and before a row number, you can add a dollar symbol. Okay. Previously, what I did, once again, I'll repeat this topic. Here, I had just selected this cell address. Okay. So now, if I fill down also, it will take this cell value and this. If I press enter, it showed the result. When I fill down, what happened? It started showing an error. Why error? Because this cell contains what? This cell contains a text, right? It is not a number. So it is showing an error. And here in the 0, because in all the cells we have nothing. See, if I click here, it is referring to this cell. If I click here, it is referring to this cell. But I wanted this to be referred to what? To perform multiplication with this, I wanted to only refer this one. So what I did, I selected it and then I used F4 functional key to change it to absolute reference. So now if I fill down to the other cells, it will have the same reference. Okay. This is an actual price. So total discount, what they are getting for the actual price is 20 rupees. Now, I want to know what is the price of the discount. Okay. So what is the actual price? 200 rupees. What is the discount they have got? 20. So now, how do I check what is the price of the discount? To check that, you have to give equals. you need to select the actual price minus discount. See, to perform subtraction, there is no function, so you need to give it manually only. See, for performing addition, we have sum. For multiplication, we have product. But for sum, there is no function, so you have to give like this. Okay, then press enter. So what is the price after discount? It is 180. So now if I fill down, so it will be totally so much for other cells. If you have any doubts in this, please let me know in a chat. It can be some of our product. Okay. So next here we have a sum product. So what it says, it returns the sum of the products of corresponding ranges are arrays. Okay. Now I want to perform here sum product. So here sum product means sum is nothing but performing addition, product is nothing but performing multiplication, right? So before going to the sum product, how this function works, I'll show you. Let's say item A. Okay, here what it does, first here what it will do is it will perform sum and then product. So before going to that, I'll show you with the sum product function only. So before that, let me tell you what is meant by array formula. Array formula, it's a formula that can perform multiple calculations. That can perform multiple calculation means what? It's not only performing single calculation, so it can perform multiple. So see, now the function which I'm going to use now, it is used for sum product, means it is going to perform sum and then product. Now I'm going to use for sum product, then I'll give an example of it. Sum product. So in this array 1, I'll select here price, comma. In this array 2, I'll select this range. I close the bracket. Okay, then I'll press enter. So how much it is showing? It is showing 150. So 150, how did we get 150? Any idea? See, it is showing me 150. Do you know how you got 150 here? I'll show you. Here 10 into, if I want to know the total, now forget about this output. I'm going to hide this. To hide, we can use control 9 to hide a row, or else you can also do right click, hide. Now we forget about that row. Okay. Now I want to perform sum and product for this. 10 into 2 is how much? 10 into 2 is 20. 20 into 5 is how much? 20 into 5 is 100. Okay. Then 15 into 2 is how much? 15 into 2 is 30. In these cells, what I did multiplication. Okay. Now I want to know the total quantity, means what is the total of it. So what I have to do now, you have to perform sum. How much you got here? 150. So here we are using how many functions? Here we are using sum and product. Now let me hide this. Can you see here the same result we have got? Here I have not used two formulas, I just use one formula to get the result. I wanted to know the total. So what we have used, if you want to know the total price, directly we have used sum product and then it is showing 150. Okay. Do you have any doubt in this sum product? If you have any doubt in the sum product, please let me know. So sum product means what? It is performing first multiplication and then it is performing addition. Okay. So it is performing two operations at the same time. So only it is called as array function. So then here we have other function, that is mod, quotient, power, fact, and pi. Okay. So what is by mod? Have you heard about mod? Mod is nothing but it will display the remainder value. Uh, Here, this is a number. I'm going to divide this with 2. Okay. Uh, Here, I'm going to use a function mod. I'm giving a number 10. I've already entered a number here. So I'm going to select the cell. Then I'll give comma. Then I'll select the divisor as 2. If you divide 10 by 2, what will be the remainder you'll get? What will be the remainder? If you divide 10 by 2, what will be the remainder? 2 5s are 10, right? So 10 and 10, it gets cancelled. So what will be the result there? So the result will be 0. To know the remainder value, what we'll be using is mod function. Okay. If you want to know the quotient, now to know the quotient, we'll be using this quotient function only. I'm taking same numbers, that is 10 and 2. Quotient is a function. At the top, I'll give 10. Numerator is nothing but 10, comma, denominator I'm giving here 2. Again, this is same, 10 by 2. If you do 10 by 2, 2 5s are 10, right? So for mod, I said you'll get the remainder 0. Here 2 5s are 10. So here 5 is a quotient value. Okay. Remainder, to know the remainder value, you have to use mod function here. To know the quotient value, you have to use your quotient. So when I have specified here, whenever you're using a mod function, first you should give a number and then divisor. This is how you have to use the function. If you want to know the quotient, you have to give first equals quotient, give a numerator value, comma, denominator value. You should not use division symbol and all. If you want to know the quotient value without using quotient function, then you can give equals 10 divided by 2. It will display the quotient value. Okay. And remember, quotient function, it will not show the decimals. See, now let's say here, instead of 10, I'll give 9. Okay. So if I give here, it is showing 4. It is not showing 4 point some decimals. Okay, because we don't have 9 in multiples of 2. So we'll be specifying, we'll put dot and then we'll be adding, right? Okay, like let's say we don't have 9, so 2 4s are 8. 1 carry and then again we'll add 0 and then we'll be continuing, no? Again 2 4s are 2 5s are, like that we'll be continuing. But remember, quotient value, it will not display any decimal value. It will only display what? Integer value. Integer means without any decimal values. Next, here we have a function called as power. So power, it will display result raised to any power. First you have to use a power function. I want to know 2 to the power of 6. I'm giving a number what? 2 here, raised to means 2 to the power 6 means 2 6 times it should be multiplied. Here I had given directly, but I already entered the data here. So I'll select this number, comma, to the power 2 to the power 6, close the parenthesis, press enter. So 2 to the power 6 is how much? It is 64. That means 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 6 times have to multiply 2. If I give here instead of 2, 3 and to the power 3, what it will display? 3 to the power 3 is how much? 3 to the power 3 is 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. Okay, if you want to know the power value, we have to use a function that is power. Then next here we have fact. Fact is nothing but factorial of a number. If I say factorial of 1, it is 1. That is multiples of those values. Factorial of 2, 1 into 2. Factorial of 3, 1 into 2 into 3, that is 6. Factorial of 4 means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. Okay, multiples of those values it will display. Now instead of 4, I'll give here 6. Let's check what is the factor of 6. That is nothing but factorial of 6 equals, fact is a function, select the cell, close the parenthesis, press enter. So it is showing 720. So how we got here 720? 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 is how much? 720. Okay, now if I want to know the pi value, so what is the value of pi? Anyone knows what is the value of pi? If you know the value of pi, you can type it in the chat. So value of pi we get when you divide 22 by 7. Okay, so this pi value will be mainly used in area of a circle. I think you would have heard area of a circle is pi r square. What is the value of pi? It is 3.1415, like that. You will get up to 15 digits. Okay, now if you want here a pi value, we can give here equals pi, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Don't give space, just press enter. So here it will display the pi value. Do you have any doubts in this? Please let me know in a chat. Mod, quotient, power, fact, and pi. Okay. So next we have a round and trunc function. So the name itself says round. It will round off the values. Trunc, it will not round off the value. Okay. So first let's start with round. Here I have given two values. It is 3.325 and in the next cell I have given 3.795. Okay. Now I'm using round. So how this round works, let's see. Equals, round is a function, select a number, comma, I want to round it up to only two numbers after decimal point. If I press enter here, no, it is showing 3.33. Why it is showing 3.33? It is showing 3.33 because I've specified here this number should round up to two numbers means it should only display after decimal point only two numbers are 2 digits. Why it is showing 3 3 instead of 3 2 is, we can see in this, after the second digit we have 5. Any number which is equal to, if a number is equal to 5 or greater than 5, what will happen is plus 1 will be added to the previous value. In the same manner, it is showing here 3.33. If I give here instead of 2 1, what it will display here? It will show here 3.3. Why it is showing 3.3? Because I have specified only 1 and it is not changed to 3.4 because this value means after this value we have is 2, which is not equal to 5 or greater than 5. Okay. If I fill in the same manner, if I click and drag down, here it is showing 3.8. Why? Because after 7, the next value is greater than 5. So it is added plus 1 to the previous number. This is round. Okay. Trunc, it will not round off the values. It will only show the values which is specified. Equals trunc is a function. I don't want to round the values. I just want to display only two numbers after decimal. So it is showing 3.32. Here it gets rounded off. If I give here 2, it gets rounded up, but here see, it is not rounded. So here if I fill the same, here it shows 7 9, but here what is done, here it is rounded, it has become 3.8. There is a difference between round and trunc. These are used for only rounding of the values. And again we have a ceiling and floor. Even these formulas are also used for rounding the values. So here we specified up to how many decimals we want, but here it is based on a multiples. Now here we have ceiling and floor. Here it will round up for the top value, floor it is for the bottom value. I'll show you. Here I'm giving a function ceiling. Okay, I'm selecting a number. It should round it up for the multiple, that is 100. See, equals ceiling. I'll select this number. I said multiple, so I'll give multiples of 100. Now, do we have 110 in multiples of 100? So multiples of 100 starts with 101s are 100, 102s are 200, right? Between that, do we have 110? We don't have. Okay. So now, which is the highest value in multiples of 100, which is greater than 110? We see we don't have 110. First, what we get? Now, let me give here 100. Okay. Next, 102s are 200, 103s are 300. We don't have 110 at all. Okay. So now, which is a value which is greater than 110 and which is present in multiples of 100? It is 200. Okay. So it will display here 200. Okay. Now, in the same way, if I check here, now I'll give here equals ceiling function. I'll give this number, comma, I'll give a significance of 8 and I'll press enter. Instead of 225, no, I'll give here 43. I think this you can understand. In multiples of 8, do we have 43? We don't have 43. So that also I'll give here. 8 ones are 8, 8 twos are 16. Now let me fill here. Okay, let me fill here. Now can you see here in multiples of 8, we don't have 43. Okay, which is a value which is greater than 43 and which is present in multiples of 8, it is 48. Okay, so if you press enter, so it will show this value, that is 48. Similarly, I'll do it for 55, and here I'll be rounding up for the multiples of 10 equals ceiling. 55 is a number, comma, I'm going to give a significance what? 10. Do we have 55 in multiples of 10? We don't have, because we have 10 ones are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then we have 60. We don't have 55. Okay, which is a number which is greater than 55 and which is present in multiples of 10? It is 60. So it will display here 60. Now here we have done for what? Ceiling. So it will check for the top value. Okay, but floor will check for the bottom value. Now here I'll give equals floor is a function. I'll select 110. Then I'll give here row multiples of 100. See, do we have 110 in multiple of 100? We don't have. So which is a number which is present in 100, which is less than 110, is 100 only, because 100 ones are 100. It starts with 100 only. Less than 110 is 100. Okay. Now in this, if I check floor, open the parenthesis, I'll select here the cell, comma, significance, I'll give here multiple of 8 only. Now, do we have 43 in multiple of 8? We don't have. So as I told, floor is a lowest value, means it will check for the bottom value, which is a number which is less than 43 and present in multiple of 8. It is 40. So that value it will display. Okay. And next here we have 55. Again, if I check in 8 multiples, not 8, multiple of 10, floor, select the value, comma, significance I am giving multiple of 10. So which is a value which is less than 55 and which is present in multiples of 8, it is 50. When I checked in 10 multiples, the highest value, means the top value was 60 and the bottom value was what? 50. Round, trunk, ceiling, floor, it is mainly used for rounding of the values. Okay, here we'll specify a decimals, but here we don't specify a decimals. We'll specify multiple values, that is multiples of 8, 9, 10. So based on our condition, we will specify here. Okay. And next we have here int. So int is nothing but integer value. Now here we have a value that is 56.25877. Now you just need to give a function int. Okay, you can see in the syntax only, you just need to select a number. Open the parenthesis. Okay, and then select a number, close the parenthesis. So it is showing what? It rounds a number down to the nearest integer. Nearest integer means what? It is, what is the value given there? 56.25877. So if it is, I told you integer means it is without decimal point. So it will not round off the value, means like it won't show as 55 and all. So the lowest, if I press enter, it shows 56. Okay, why it is showing 56? Here the value given is 56.25877. The lowest integer for that is 56. Now let us fill this and let's check. See, here we have a negative value, that is minus 5.24. I think you remember a number line, any value which is greater than 0, they are positive numbers. Less than 0, it is negative numbers. So nearest to 5.24, the lowest value is how much? Minus 6. Okay, it's not 6, it is minus 6. It's not minus 4. Minus 4 means it will become a highest value, means it will not become a nearest value. Okay, here it is 5 and here it is 56. It will not show the values in decimals, it will only show with whole numbers, it is only without decimal points. They are called as what? Integer values. Okay, and next we have a function called as ABS. Okay, ABS is a function which will hide the sign. So how it works, I'll show you. Now here I'll give equals, let's say minus 9 divided by 3. If you divide minus 9 by 3, what will be the result? You can type it in the chat. If you divide minus 9 by 3, what will be the result? Please let me know in the chat. Minus equals minus 9 divided by 3, and then I'll give few more. You have to tell me in the chat. Equals minus 5 minus 3. Tell me what will be the result of this. If you do minus 9 by 3, what will be the result you get? So here, when you do minus 9 by 3, you will get here minus 3, right? If I don't want to show this negative sign, okay, we will be using which function? We'll be using a function that is ABS. Okay, you just need to give a number within ABS and just press enter. Okay, so before adding ABS, it was showing minus 3, but now what it is showing? It is showing what? Only 3. And if you perform minus 5 and minus 3, the answer will be minus 8. But if you don't want to show this sign, whenever you perform any calculation, if you're getting a negative value, you don't want to show as a negative value. If you want as a positive value, we use ABS function. Okay, see, I'll click here. You can type here ABS open parenthesis, then close. As you can also do in this way also. Let's say here you will have some values, minus 9, minus 5.3, something like this, where you have a negative sign. You don't want to show the sign. Equals ABS, select the cell address, close a parenthesis, press enter. Then again, click here, click and drag down. See, it is not showing any negative value. Okay. Now, one by one, I am asking. Now, whoever is in the chat, you can let me know if you have any doubts. So so far we have done sum, SUMIF, SUMIFs, mod, fact, pi, power, product, round, trunk, ceiling, floor, int, and ABS function. In all these functions, remember we have used numbers. Mathematical functions, mainly it is used to perform simple calculations. In this, if you have any doubts, please let me know in a chat. It can be any function in this mathematical, what we have covered today. Remember, if you give a formula and if it is showing error, click inside the cell and check what is the mistake you have done. Check with a function you have given. Maybe you would have missed commas. When giving the condition, you would have missed double inverted quotes. Whenever you feel there's an error, if you get an error when you enter the function, what you have to do, you have to left double click inside the cell. Okay, to edit the cell, there are 3 methods. What are they? Left double click, or you can click inside, and even you can type it in the formula bar also if you want to correct it. And the third method is you have to use the functional key F2. When you press functional key F2, so that will edit the cell. These are the 3 methods. Okay. Whenever you are using function, see the syntax properly and then only do it. When you don't have any condition, you can just use sum and all. If there is a condition, then only you'll be using the SUMIF, SUMIFs. Remember, to perform addition, which function we use? Sum. To perform multiplication, we use product. To perform division, means if you want to know the remainder value, we use mod. If you want to know the quotient value, we will be using quotient. For subtraction, there is no function. Okay. This is all about mathematical function. Okay. And next we have is text function. So what is meant by text? So when I say text, it is not only alphabetic data. Okay. It can also include numbers. Okay. First function and text function is len. Now, if I want to know how many characters are there in a cell, okay. So now this is one cell, right? Now I want to know how many characters are there in this. To check that, we use a function what? Len. You can see in the syntax, it is equals len of text. Equals len of text means first what you need to do, you need to use equals len, open the parenthesis. Now if you're giving a text directly, you have to give within double inverted quotes, but I'm not giving a text within this. I'm going to select the cell which contains a text. So I'll select this cell, then close parenthesis, then press enter. Okay. Now how much it is showing? It is showing here 4. Why it is showing 4? Because the cell, it is A6, it contains 4 characters. Okay. Next, we have in the cell A7 MS Excel. By seeing that cell, can you tell me how many characters are there? That means what is the length of the string? See, previously it showed here 4, right? Because here we have only 4 characters. But what about in this cell? How many characters this A7 cell contains? I want you to tell the answer for this. How many characters does A7 contains? You can count and you can tell, right? How many characters it contains? 8. Are you sure it is 8? Why 8? MSEXCEL. It is totally 7, right? 8 is a correct answer because you're right. Who said 8? No, it is right because even space is also considered as one character. Okay. Equals len is a function. If you select it, if you close a parenthesis, it shows 8. Your answer was right. See, if I don't give any space here, no, then it shows 7. Okay. But here, as it contains a space, it shows there 8. What about the next cell? How many characters does A8 contains? A8 cell. So in A6 we had 4, in A7 we had 8, and in A8, how many characters are there? So in A6, totally we have 6. Sure. See, I said space is also included as what? It is considered as a character. Then what about exclamatory? It is also one character, right? So including that exclamatory, it is 6. Very good. Equals, remember, whenever there is a space, that is also one character. If it is exclamatory, that is any special characters you use, they also comes under characters. Equals len. See, I don't need to use again and again, as I've already used the formula here. If I just do left double click, it will fill. Okay. Before going to trim, let us just check this upper function. I'll give here MSEXCEL. Okay. Now, it is in which case? Is it in a particular case? It's not in any case, right? So it's like it's a combination of uppercase, lowercase, means capital letters are also there, small letters are also there, but in the cell now I want in uppercase. Okay. So to convert that to uppercase, we use a function called as upper. You can select this cell, close the parenthesis, enter. In the similar way, we can do it for lower and proper. So in our next session, we'll be continuing text function. Okay. Thank you all.